A new sighting of one of the very first Tesla Model 3 with dual motor adds to the mounting evidence that the automaker is about to release the all-wheel drive powertrain option to the new electric vehicle. Last month, Electrek reported on Tesla registering 19 Model 3 VINs with dual motor powertrain with NHTSA in the latest batch of new VINs. It happened right after the Tesla Model 3 dual motor powertrain design leaked in the latest Design Studio update. Then earlier this month, Tesla registered a new batch of Model 3 VINs, bringing the total into the 11,000s, and 24 of those Model 3 VINs were registered with the dual motor powertrain. Now a few weeks later, the first Tesla Model 3 dual motor all-wheel drive was spotted in the wild by Ryan McCaffrey. He wrote on his Twitter, "I spotted number 8370 in the wild this weekend in San Francisco. It's red with 19 inches sport wheels, if you're curious." As shown by the Model 3 Vehicle Identification Number (VIN) decoder, the 8th digit represents the type of powertrain and the number B means a dual motor. It's also the highest VIN spotted in the wild. Though as usual, it doesn't mean that Tesla has produced 8,000-plus Model 3 vehicles to date, since the sequence appears to often be broken during the production ramps as Tesla tweaks the production and builds test vehicles, like this one. In the latest Model 3 online Design Studio update, Tesla says that the first Model 3 dual-motor deliveries are coming in spring 2018, which could technically mean as soon as next month.
You likely know the Yenko name from the high-performance SC Chevy Camaros and Corvettes from the decades past, but the Yenko name returns this time in the form of a regular cab Silverado truck for a very limited run of just 25 trucks. This truck is built and licensed by Specialty Vehicle Engineering. Under the hood of this street monster is a supercharged 6.8 LLT1 V8 with an aluminum block, a forged steel crankshaft and connecting rods, forged aluminum pistons, ported heads, and a specialized fuel delivery system. The result is a claimed 800 horsepower and 750 pounds-ft of torque. The truck gets a much lowered stance, 22-inch rims, 6-piston Brembo brakes, high-performance tires, and a free-flowing dual exhaust system. The total cost of the Yenko SC package is $46,995 and comes with a 3-year/36,000-mile limited warranty. This package also reminds of a Ford F-150 Lightning 600 horsepower package conversion that one dealership was doing last year. What do you think? Are high-performance street trucks like this Yenko SC Silverado a great idea, or is the latest trend all about off-road ready high-performance trucks?
The new Honda Civic Type R British touring car machine took to the track for the first time in Spain on Tuesday. The car, which has been built by Team Dynamics, ran at the Parc Castelloli circuit, just outside Barcelona, at lunchtime. Drivers Matt Neal, a 3-time BTCC champion, and new signing Dan Kamish, will share a car for testing duties for the remainder of the week. Neal said, "This next-generation Honda Civic Type R is fantastic, and the guys have pulled out all the stops to get us to this point. If the car goes as fast as it looks, then we'll be in great shape this season." Kamish has joined the team for 2018 in place of WTCR-bound Gordon Shedden. Kamish said, "It's really exciting to see the new car in the flesh, in full racing trim, and it's really something special. Sitting in the cockpit for the first time will be a really proud moment for me." The car, designated the FK8, will race for the first time at the opening round of this year's campaign at Brands Hatch on April 8. It is the 5th different version of the Honda that Team Dynamics has built since it became a Honda factory-supported team in 2010. Team Dynamics team manager James Rogers said an intensive testing program was planned ahead of its competition debut. Rogers said, It's been a massive effort by the team over the off-season to transition to the new Honda Civic Type R, and to see all of those hours' labor bear fruit is just a fantastic feeling. The car provides an excellent platform to work with, and we're sure it'll prove a potent package when it hits the track in anger at Brands Hatch. Dynamics is sharing the track with several other BTCC teams, including Motor Base Performance, MD Tuning and Eurotech Racing.
The Tesla Model 3 is an enjoyable car to drive, but some features disappoint, said Consumer Reports on Wednesday, after testers drove the car for the first time. The Model 3 offers taut handling, a fantastic driver's seat position and the quick acceleration electric powertrains are known for, the publication said in its report. The car's glued to the road handling impressed testers, and its driver assistance system, Autopilot, did a good job of keeping the car between lane lines. But testers criticized certain features, such as an overly stiff ride, and door handles that are unnatural and awkward to use. The large screen over the center console that controls nearly everything in the car also forces drivers to look away from the road. Consumer Reports said, if ever there were a car that needed a head-up display, it's the Model 3 inches. Further testing may tell whether the screen is the future, or just a gimmick, it continued. As it usually does when reviewing cars, Consumer Reports anonymously purchased a test car from Tesla, which, at $59,000, is much more expensive than the vehicle's $35,000 base price. This is in part because Tesla began early production with more expensive versions of the sedan, and because Consumer Reports prepaid for added features Tesla plans to roll out. Consumer Reports will continue to test the car in the coming weeks and will provide a full review and rating once complete.
In contrast with Ford, Chevy is still all in on V8s for its full-size pickups, but don't take this to mean that the Silverado's engines are low-tech. The 5.3 and 6.2-liter V8s offered in the 2019 Silverado offer a new fuel-saving technology that can shut off 7 cylinders at once. This system is called Dynamic Fuel Management, and it's as interesting as its name is boring. Jason Fenske of Engineering Explained tackles dynamic fuel management, explaining how it works, and why specifically it saves fuel. In the Silverado's V8s, all of the valves are attached to deactivation arms, which can be moved by a locking pin. With the locking pin pushed all the way out, the valves operate normally, but when retracted, the valves are kept shut, effectively deactivating the cylinder. The engine management system decides how many cylinders are deactivated and when this occurs. The advantage here is a reduction in pumping losses. Basically, it's more efficient to use one cylinder to make a certain amount of power than it is to have multiple do the same work.
The current road-going Honda Civic Type R looks like teenage anger bottled up into a car body, leaving people split on how they feel about its looks. But it didn't take a new generation for the Type R to put on some adult clothes. It just took making it into a race car. This Type R will compete in the British Touring Car Championship this season, and, according to a press release from the series, it's testing in this all-black look until livery unveilings at the end of March. But without a racing scheme, it's easy to see just how much better the race car looks compared to the street car. This Type R looks like it has that same, unending anger. It's just learned how to put on a poker face and get its revenge more creatively than it did in the teen years. The BTCC race car looks calmer, with its wide-bodied fender flares seeming to slump the car into a more relaxed stance along the ground. The nose of the car really does skim lower to the pavement too.
Congress was demanded that quiet cars like the electric and hybrid cars should emit some sound when they are moving at a certain speed, and it looks like we might finally have a date for it. One of the reasons why this demand was made was because these vehicles can't be heard, especially at lower speed, and this could be dangerous for the pedestrians, blinds or other road users, as they won't be able to hear the vehicle approaching. The regulation was supposed to be finalized by 2014, but it was pushed back, and now, the deadline has been extended to 2020. It was also decided that vehicles will need to emit sounds up until 18.6 miles. That means that future electric vehicles like those coming from Tesla and Nissan won't be able to remain quiet anymore. Regulators are still considering the request from automakers to allow them to include a few sound options for the owners to pick from.